front men, and Sterling checks in trouble, and it's Jefferson puts it away.
Living reflections from a dream.
Alright guys, and welcome to episode 20 of the Frangerine Dream with me, Kurt Frangle. Cheers to Welsheh for the name. And another season has passed. We finished first in the league. We didn't actually end up hitting the 100-point mark. I'm too much of a softie. There were so many people leaving us, and I just wanted to give them one last game, as well as some of the players who weren't playing that much for us. So yeah, we lost to Crew, who have been relegated. We lost to them 2-1. The lineup included Dwight T and Darley, who I'm letting go, Jack Payne, who I'm letting go, Charlie Lee, Adi McGeady, Adam Lafondra, and Josh Timon, who we might not be bringing back. And so yeah, it was a bit of a beating. We lost the game. We didn't reach the 100-point mark, but at least we gave him a bloody good send-off. And in fact, I am just going to show you Charlie Lee's goal, because it was a fucking beauty. So we were 1-0 down at the time, and just sink your ocular teeth into this. Charlie Lee swings in the free kick. It's headed away as far as Dwight T and Darley, the veteran right back on his last appearance. Ball inside for Ash Kigbu, who's still up for the free kick. Lays it to Connor Kelly, to Jack Payne, who lays it off for Charlie Lee. And with tears in his eyes, he fucking slams it into the top corner. On a booking, of course. But Charlie Lee scored his first and last goal of the season, and his last goal for Blackpool FC. So that was brilliant, and that made it worthwhile that we didn't get to the centenary. Is that what it's called? You can call it that, can't you? When you get to 100 goals, centenary. I'm calling it that. Fuck it. So yeah, we're just gonna have a look at some awards, and then I'm gonna do the summer and make some signings actually to prepare us for our first season in the Championship under the stewardship of Francis Jeffers. So I'm fucking excited about the kind of player we may be able to attract. So this is Team of the Season, which we've not really looked at in any of the other end of season videos, but just give it a quick look. So we've got Hogard in net, Hodgson, Aldred, Wilson and Timon across the back, Kane and Potts in the centre of midfield, Billy Clark on the right wing, where he played, I think I can safely say 0 times. I saw like a promising Premier League youngsters 11 today on the internet, and it had Leroy Sané at left wing back, because they just needed to fit him in somewhere. So I think this is the same thing. Billy Clark's on the right, Cal Dempsey and Sammy Amiobi behind Danny Philliskirk. So apart from Billy Clark being shunted over on the right wing, that's a very standard team, and it's probably the team you'd expect for Team of the Year. Fans Player of the Season, I think for a second consecutive year, I'm pretty sure about that, is Tom Aldred. Excellent job by our captain Tom Aldred, and surprisingly, I don't think I've seen this before, but second choice is Clark Robertson and third choice was Ash Kigbu. All of those players are centre backs, and Danny Wilson did not get a look in despite being in Team of the Year. But yeah, good job all round. I cannot see how Cal Dempsey didn't get in the top 3, but that's up to the fans. That is up to the fans, and they can make their own minds up. So it's bullshit, but let's move on to goal of the season. Charlie Lee against Crew, and that is the goal from yesterday actually. So I have already showed you the goal of the season, that thunder bastard from Charlie Lee. And a lot of players, when they leave after the contract expires, they leave a sour taste in the mouth. We will remember Charlie Lee as the man who scored our goal of the season for 2018-19. Good lad. Signing of the season without a fucking doubt is Kyle Dempsey, £101,000 from Huddersfield Town. He's come in and he's been absolutely fucking sensational. 24 goals in 50 appearances overall, 4 assists, which is fewer than I'd hope, but you know, he's getting the chances and he's not laying it off, he's going for goals, so can't really complain about that. If he'd got like 20 goals and 8 assists, that would have been a bit more rounded, but it swings and roundabouts, isn't it? 7 Player of the Match awards for him, only 3 yellow cards. You usually get a few more than that in a season when you're playing Shadow Striker, And he's actually played as a ball winner or a box-to-boxer quite a few times. So 3 yellows is not bad at all. And average rating 7.22. Fantastic season, Kyle Dempsey. I sincerely hope he can keep it going into 2019-20. And young player of the season for Blackpool is young Ash Kigbu, the 20-year-old who we signed on a free transfer from Manchester City a year ago. Sorry, 2 years ago, wasn't it? Yeah, we promoted him to the first team after he chose to stay with us last summer, and he's been brilliant. He's given me a proper headache. They all have. All the centre-backs have been brilliant. Even Clark Robertson, who's probably the one I rate least out of the 4 of them. But even he's been brilliant when he's played. So they've given me a proper headache. I'll be honest, if this many clubs are interested, if we can get some serious money for Ash Kigbu, I would consider it, because we've got 3 other very good centre-backs. But I hope we keep him around. I hope he will stay with us. Yeah, he scored 3 goals for us as well and got a very good average rating. Good job, Ashley. So top goal scorer obviously was Kyle Dempsey with his 24 goals. Highest average rating was Ash Kigbu with his 7.33. Most assists was Sammy Amiobi with 12 assists. Good lad. He's had a solid first season with us. Sammy is at a 7.11 average rating, 12 assists, 7 goals in 39 appearances overall. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Pleased with him. Best pass completion is Michael Caine. It wasn't his finest season, Michael Caine, but he's done fine. I think he's set expectations high in the other 2 seasons he's had with us. But yeah, he's done fine this year, Michael Caine. Just slowly, silently doing his job in the middle of the park and picking up above 7 for average ratings. I can't complain about that. Most player of the match awards is Kyle Dempsey because he's a fucking beast. Most yellow cards and most red cards goes to Brad Potts. And Brad Potts has been good. Right. I don't know if you can tell when I said that. I had my head in my hands. Brad Potts has been good, but especially after Christmas. I don't know if it's because I did fiddle with the tactics around the turn of the year. I don't know if it's that caused it. Maybe we were a little bit light at the back or something, and that's caused him to have too many defensive responsibilities, and he's been pulled all over the place and he's having to dive in places. I don't know what it was, right? But he's been sent off 4 times since Christmas, I think. Definitely at least 3 times. It might be 4. So I can't really be pleased with him. He's done fine. Oh, it's just this disciplinary, and I have had a word with him. I've said to him his disciplinary record needs to get better, and he's taken that on board. So hopefully next year we will have a more refined Brad Potts, a more knowledgeable Brad Potts, a Brad Potts who will get into the right positions and make those tackles in good time, so that he doesn't have to get fucking red cards. But yeah, that is all of the awards. Match of the season was Blackpool's 5-1 against Portsmouth. Moment to forget was the 3-0 win against Wimbledon. Still no idea how that happened. We were tipped for a top half finish. Where were we predicted this season? 10th. We were predicted 10th. And we have absolutely ran away with... Well, we've definitely ran away with automatic promotion. We have obviously just sealed the title from Reading. But yeah, we have massively overachieved. And we've done very, very well. Very pleased with us. Very pleased with us. So yeah, as always, I am going to shoddily put mine and Freddie's faces over some fucking Tom and Jerry cartoon. And I will see after I've done a bunch of transfers and shit. I'll see you in the Championship for our first match. Hello again, guys, and welcome to 2019-2020. Welcome to the Championship. Welcome to the year that Blackpool rise into the Premier League where they belong. No, probably not, eh? Yeah, welcome to the Championship. We have got our first match today against Sunderland, of course. The powerhouses of Sunderland, led by manager Ryan Giggs. Captain Lee Catmull, still there. Vice-Captain David, who I don't know. We'll have a better look at the players that Sunderland have got in a while. But first of all, let's get to the transfers. Let's see what's happened. So first of all, very, very annoyingly, Jacob Hogard has been sold. And the decision was made over my head. So you're probably thinking, oh, what, did Cardiff come in and did they bid like 2 million? You know, something ridiculous for him. No, they did not. No, they did not. I signed him for 170k. He conceded 42 in 43. Very impressive performance. 14 clean sheets. And we sold him for a fucking £100,000 more. And we had money in the bank as well. It's not as if we were that desperate that we needed £250,000 for him. It's just foolish. We've sold Jacob Hogard. I have replaced him. I'll come to that in a second. But I'll get it out of the way early. I was pretty fucking annoyed about that. Joe Garner has moved on a free to Walsall. I think the less said about his stint with Blackpool the better. 1 goal in 13. And of course Jonathan Flatt, Dwight Tiendali, Charlie Lee, Adam Lafondra, Adi McGeady and Jack Payne were released. Along with a host of youth players who were no good. And Nicky Mayemba moved to Crewe on a free transfer. So both goalkeepers out of the door. So let's move on to the ins. I'm going to start with the least exciting and sort of try to move upwards. We brought in Lee Camp as a backup goalkeeper. He looks very solid. He might even be first choice goalkeeper. I don't know yet. I've not really tried either of the goalkeepers out. But yet 34-year-old Northern Ireland international Lee Camp is on the books. He's joined us on a free transfer from Rotherham, where he was since the start of the game. Replacing Dwight Tiendali is Kieran Freeman, who we've signed on a free transfer from Sheffield United. He's 27, he's a Welsh under-21 international. He can play with either feet. He's pretty good, he's pretty just all-round and solid. And he's natural at both right back and left back, so the perfect replacement for Dwight Tiendali. Next up was a free transfer for Josh Vella. Where did we bring Josh in from? Sheffield Wednesday. When Wednesday got relegated in the first season, they signed Josh Vella from Bolton, and we've signed him from Wednesday. So Josh Vella has joined. He is a ball winner, he can play box to box, he's also a playmaker, so he's a versatile central midfielder. I don't think he'll go straight into the first team, he'll be more of a squad player to start off with. But yeah, pleased to have him on board. And the reason I've brought him on board primarily is that I've realised we needed more centre midfielders. What was happening last season was that Michael Caine usually gets at least 1 suspension per season because of the amount of yellow cards that he gets over a season. That's fair enough. And Brad Potts, obviously, last season at least, got 4 red cards, 16 yellow cards, so he was suspended for half the fucking season. So when that was happening, we didn't have enough depth in central midfield, so Kyle Dempsey was having to drop back to a ball winner or a box to boxer, and I don't want that to happen this season. So this season we've brought in Josh Vella to give us a bit more depth at central midfield, along with the lad I will show you in a second. But yeah, he's mainly cover for Brad Potts. And this is the other lad. This is the other lad we brought in central midfield. He's a box to boxer primarily. His attributes aren't incredible, they aren't amazing, but he is a very determined, hard-working, team-playing, naturally fit central midfielder, and I think he'll fit in very well. He's probably going to be 4th choice central mid to start off with, but as I say, we need a bit more depth there so that Kyle Dempsey can be left alone in his shadow striker role. I've known about Jack Thomas since pretty much the start of the game, the start of this series. Because ever since I've had scouts out looking for people, they keep recommending Jack Thomas from Mansfield, and for the first couple of seasons I wanted him, but I couldn't sign him because Mansfield were outdoing us, and we didn't have any money anyway. But now Mansfield have been relegated to League 2, Jack Thomas doesn't belong in League 2, he's at least a League 1 player, I think he'll be able to cut it in the Championship. So we've signed him for the fairly hefty fee of 425 grand, but hopefully he will be worth it. Right, now this is the replacement for Hogard, in theory. It might still be Lee Camp, because as I say I've not tried either of them out really, but Freddie Woodman has come in from Newcastle for £350,000, and he looks okay. You have no idea how long I spent looking for a goalkeeper, right? I spent a long fucking time looking for a goalkeeper. And in the end, Freddie Woodman was the one. He's cost us relatively little. 350 grand isn't that much. He's on decent wages for the level that we're at, and he's all round enough to do a job for now. I'm unconvinced by his attributes at the minute, but hopefully he will prove me wrong and be... I mean, if he does well, he can be our goalkeeper for bloody 15 years, so, you know, it'll be a brilliant signing. But I'm unconvinced at the minute. I hope he proves me wrong. Next up then is the replacement for Josh Tymon. We were not able to get Josh Tymon back as his club Hull no longer want to loan him out. They want to play him in the first team. He probably won't play for their first team. I feel a bit sorry for him. But nevertheless, that left us with a predicament. We needed a replacement, and James Husband is the one. We brought him in from Burnley for... I think we robbed him, to be perfectly honest. The fans weren't over the moon because Burnley are obviously a local rival of ours, and they only signed him a couple of years ago for 2.5 million. But yeah, we've robbed him for 105 grand for James Husband, and to be honest, I think he's better. I think he's better than Josh Tymon. In fact, I'm just going to compare them, see how they do stack up. So I'm going to be playing them at, well, pretty much fullback support. So let's have a look. I mean, they're pretty even. James Husband has definitely got the physical edge. He's also more aggressive and brave, which I like in defenders. I think overall Tymon's probably got more impressive mental stats, and they're about the same technically. Maybe Tymon's a little bit better. I think, to be honest, they are very, very, very similar. And instead of having to shell out bloody 15 million like Hull want for Josh Tymon, we've brought in James Husband, who I've just noticed also has a sizable height advantage on Josh Tymon. He's 5'10" as opposed to 5'5". So yeah, very, very pleased. Very, very pleased with James Husband. And the next signing is a bloody permanent one, and it's a permanent one for Owen the Impact Jones. We've finally taken the plunge and brought in Owen Jones on a permanent transfer. I mean, his attributes still aren't that good, and they're actually getting a little worse, because it just wouldn't be our summer signing spree if one of them wasn't fucking declining. But we've finally taken the plunge and brought him in on a permanent transfer, just because he always scores goals for us. Even looking pre-season, we've had quite a tricky pre-season, and he scored 6 in 8. He's bloody phenomenal, and I have no idea why. Because of this milestone, because we've had him in on loan for 3 years and we've finally made it permanent, I thought I'd give him a nickname, and that nickname is Owen the Impact Jones, and I think it fits him perfectly. So tremendously pleased to be able to welcome Owen back to the club. And last but not least, the prodigal son has returned, only on loan, but we have brought back Jimmy Lockie. I'm going to just put a picture of Jimmy Lockie's stats when he left us on the screen right now so you can compare. Bloody hell. I have been keeping half an eye on him, but I've not probably looked at his stats for last season. And my God, he looks ridiculous. He looks great. He's got a hell of a first touch, great dribbler, good at corners, good solid physical stats across the board. He can't really jump, but I don't give a shit. He's got great physical stats. He's a great decision maker, which in young players is like gold dust. He's very determined. He's got good flair. He's got good teamwork. He's got decent work rate. I'll take that. Good technique, good passing, long shots. Oh, so pleased that we brought Jimmy Lockie back on a season-long loan. We are paying half his wages for the season. Leicester are paying the other half. But yeah, bloody hell. He's an option, isn't he? I'm actually training him to play as striker, because at some point we're going to want an upgrade on Danny Philliskirk. This is the last signing, by the way. This is the whole squad now. At some point we're going to want an upgrade on Danny Philliskirk, and I want to try out Jimmy Lockie, see how he does as a deep line forward. So yeah, that is our squad at the minute. Sadly, James Husband, Sammy Amiobi and Owen the Impact Jones are all injured, but Husband will be back in 2 to 4 weeks. Sammy Amiobi will be out for another 3 to 4 weeks, and the Impact will be out for 2 to 3 weeks. So should have them back, all back within a month. Right then, first match of the new season. And to be honest, I am pessimistic, but let's have a look at who Sunderland have got. They've still got Jordan Pickford in goal, who has blossomed fairly nicely. He's a good solid keeper by the looks of it. He's on a hefty wage. I'm not sure he's that good. 28.5 grand a week. But yeah, at 25 he is a good solid keeper, and we will do well to get past him. They've got Matty Loughton at right back. Good solid right back for the Championship level. They've got David, their vice captain, who actually looks very, very good. Not so good physically, but mentally very good, and technically, you know, passable. They've got Reece Burke, the once promising wonder kid from West Ham. He looks very good. Clark Salter, looks like a decent left back. He's got some good pace and strength. And the centre midfield too have been there for quite a while. It's Didier Ndong and Jack Rodwell, who the less said about, the better. Moving on, they have got Roy Behrens on the right wing, who looks pretty decent. He is quite quick and he's got a good dribble and cross on him. They've got John Torrell as their attacking midfielder. He looks quite good, not so much physically, but yeah, he's good. Fabio Barini on the left. My God, he's going to be a hell of an inside forward for the Championship. And Andy Carroll up front. And we've managed to play him when Andy Carroll's not fucking injured, so that's great. That's our luck all over, isn't it? Have they got anyone decent on the bench? They've got no one I really recognise. Cuco Martino, I guess. Joel Asoro is a good young Sunderland striker at the start of the game, and he has blossomed fairly well. He's got excellent pace, Joel Asoro. But the lineup that everyone in the Northwest who follows Championship football has been waiting for is Blackpool FC's. It's Freddie Woodman in goal, Lee Hodson, Ash Kigbu, Danny Wilson and Luke Higham across the back. Obviously James Husbands is injured for the moment, and Tom Aldred has missed some of pre-season and is not quite match fit, so he's on the bench today. Mark O'Kane and Brad Potts, of course, form the dynamic partnership in the central midfield. Don't get fucking sent off, please, either of you. We've got Matty Kennedy on the right wing, Carl Dempsey in the middle, Danny Philliskirk cutting inside from the left, and Jimmy Lockie. We're throwing him straight in against a very tough club in front of the Bloomfield Road crowd. So I hope they will give him a good reception. Jimmy Lockie is playing as a deep line forward. Oh, I hope it works. I very much hope it works. And on the bench we've got some good options. We've got Vella, Freeman, Aldred, Jack Thomas, the young Mansfield lad, Billy Clark. We've got this lad on the bench, who we brought in from Connors Quay. His name's Alan Williams. He is a decent looking striker. He's very determined, team working, pretty good physical stats in some areas, very aggressive and decent finishing and first touch. So he's on the bench today because we have a couple of injuries. I am still looking for another striker as well. If there's one thing I could bring in before the end of the transfer window, it will be another striker. And Alan Williams is one of a few, by the way. Don't think just because I've not shown you that we've signed kids. We've signed kids this summer and we'll hopefully sell them on at some point. We've not sold any kids, which is weird for us, and for that reason we're kind of in the red financially. But you know, anything can happen between now and the end of the transfer window. And also Clark Robertson is on the bench as well. So let's get into it. I want to say to them passionately, give these fans their money's worth. Well, fucking hell. Come on, here we go. Here we go. Passionate. I have faith in you. Yes! Come on, you bastards. Come on, Jimmy. Good lad, Jimmy. We are ready to go. And Sunderland would do well to tread very carefully. We are a team with momentum, and I was only half joking about going up this year. Even though the board actually expect us to attempt to bravely fight relegation. So that means probably, even if we went down, they wouldn't sack me, which shows they have great faith in our chances this year. But while all this is going on, we've actually got a really good chance. Danny Philliskirk has had one saved by Pickford, while Cal Dempsey was wandering back onto the field with a twisted ankle. So that's great, isn't it? First match. Matty Kennedy nods it on towards Jimmy Lockie. Go on, Jimmy. Jimmy Lockie turns. He runs into trouble. And Burke plays it back to Pickford, who plays it onto the right for Behrens. Well, my computer just lagged for fucking 10 minutes, but we've managed to solve it. And we're back where we left off. Sunderland are coming forward after gaining the ball from Philliskirk. Loughton to Rodwell. It's through for John Torrell. John Torrell has a shot, but Woodman turns it away. I'm going to have to do some clever video work to make it seem that like that just didn't have a massive cut in it. It's headed away as far as Didier Ndong. Behrens crosses it in. Ash Kigbu gets it away. Higham gets it away further. And are we safe? Tell me we're safe. Jack Rodwell has the ball for Sunderland. You bloody snake. Michael Caine's gone through the back of him. What are we doing about that, ref? Nothing. Good. Good. That's what we want to hear. I cannot deal with lag and a red card in the same highlight. John Torrell lays it off to Behrens, who has a shot. It's straight past Woodman. And it's 1-0 to Sunderland in front of Bloomfield Road's die-hard Frangerine fans. Right, so let's have a look at this. Andy Carroll played it through for John Torrell. I thought he was going to shoot. I think so did Luke Higham. But he laved it off for Behrens, who just smashed it into the net past Woodman. Not a great start. Not a great start to the season for Blackpool. Luke Higham has won the ball for us though, and he's played it up to Jimmy Lockie. And Jimmy Lockie's trying to get away from Didier Ndong, who is a scary bastard, but he manages it. Jimmy Lockie! Oh, it's a good shot, but it was a good save by Pickford. It's out for our corner. Cal Dempsey crosses it in from the corner. It's headed away, and Didier Ndong will come away and start a counter-attack. No, he will not. We've actually had the better of it so far. I mean, chance-wise, yeah, we've by far had the better of it. Sunderland are quite... Hey, there we go. I was going to say Sunderland are quite lucky so far. Andy Carroll has finally been brought off. It doesn't usually take him this long to get injured in a football season. So I'm going to tell them I'm not that happy, even though I kind of am, because the performance has been quite good. Cal Dempsey is really struggling with that twisted ankle, so I'm going to bring him off for Billy Clark. Oh, one thing to note about Billy Clark. Billy Clark suddenly seems like he's never played Treacherista in his life. After playing there constantly for the last 3 years, he's suddenly decided, I have no idea how to do this. So, fucking excellent. So what we're going to do is put Billy Clark on the left as an attacking winger. Going to have him as an attacking winger and have Danny Philliskirk as a shadow striker. But that is the only half-time change we're going to make. Get back out there and let's level this one up. Who did Sunderland actually bring on for Andy Carroll? I should probably find out information like that. Ah, they brought on William. Not Will.i.am, whose son was a Blackpool superstar for a time. But William, who looks pretty decent. He looks very good, actually. Okay, it's a free kick for Blackpool. Jimmy Lockie plays it to Brad Potts, who can play it through for Clark. He can't find the pass though, and Matt Loughton gets away and plays it over the top for William. I thought that was going to be our chance. William gets through. It's a good save by Woodman. There was such a good chance there for Potts to thread it through to Billy Clark. But it's come down the other end, and Sunderland have a corner. Fabio Barini crosses it in. These feel a lot safer without Andy Carroll, I'll be honest. Barini crosses it in again. Burke's there at the far post. Woodman with a fine save, and Hodson clears. And Freddie Woodman is filling me with confidence this match. You know, a shot's been past him, but that was more the defence's fault than his, I think. It's a good cross into the far post, actually. Hodson's there. Kane nodded it down for Hodson, who had a shot, but it's blocked, and it's a Blackpool corner. Jimmy Lockie will take this as well. Jimmy Lockie crosses it in. Danny Wilson's header. Wide off the near post. But that's good. We're giving some back now. It was, up until then, it was all Sunderland for this half. I would take Jimmy Lockie off, but we've not really got anyone to replace him at the minute, unless Danny Philliskirk goes up there and someone replaces him in attacking midfield. Barini to Torrell to William. Williams doing a great job as like a false 9, drawing Wilson out of position. Behrens comes in from the outside. Oh, and Kane did just enough to stop John Torrell's shot. And Freddie Woodman gets there. I think we are going to have to make changes, and I think it is going to be Jack Thomas coming on for Jimmy Lockie, and Danny Philliskirk will go up front as the deep line forward. So a debut for Jack Thomas, the young signing from Mansfield. I don't want to throw Alan Williams in unless it's completely necessary. Maybe in like 10-15 minutes we'll throw him on as a second striker. And we've got a highlight immediately. That is good. Or maybe it isn't. It is not, because William is going forward on the ball. Barini to Rodwell. Jack Rodwell turns on the ball, gets it to Barini, who's cutting inside. He lays it off for Clark Salter, who's making a brilliant overlapping run. Higham is at fault for the goal again, I would say. I would say he's been at fault for both of the goals. And Roy Behrens has got his second goal of the game. It was a great overlapping run by Clark Salter, and Luke Higham tripped over as the ball came past him. And I know I said 10-15 minutes, but we're now 2 goals down, so I'm going to make these changes. Michael Caine's looking a little worse for wear, so he will be the one that's sacrificed, and Williams is coming on as a poacher. Jack Thomas goes to his favoured position as box-to-box midfielder, and we will go to attacking. Right, we've got a free kick. Kennedy crosses it into the far post. It's headed away as far as Matty Kennedy again. Have a go. Ash Kigbu to Matty Kennedy. He does have a go. It's squeezed past Pickford and it's in. Matty Kennedy opens Blackpool's scoring for the season. You little beast. I didn't really get to say that to Matty Kennedy last year. He had a sort of quiet debut season. But yeah, that was a good delivery originally. Then give it back to Kigbu. Got it back again. And first time drilled it sort of straight up Pickford. But goalkeepers can't goalkeep in Footy Manager. So Pickford has done us a favour there. But a good, he hit it well, Kennedy. So we'll give him that. And with 6 minutes to go, what we're going to do is, in fact, let's be daring. Let's clear all these, go overload, pump ball into the box, route 1, shoot on sight, and all this good stuff. Yeah, we will leave it at that. And we're going to stick Ash Kigbu up front. And Ash Kigbu is going to be a target man on support, which he's surprisingly okay with. He's not bad. Is he better than Danny Philliskirk there? Not quite, no. How about Williams? No. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, what we're going to do is... My God, this is going to be chaos. We're going to have Thomas as a shadow striker playing just off Kigbu. We're also going to have Philliskirk and Williams in there as well. Clark... yeah, Clark's going to stay out there. Kennedy will drop back just a little bit, because I feel like it will be quite congested up there. And Brad Potts is going to cover sort of for Kigbu. And he's going to be a supporting ball winner. Oh, this is going to be chaos, isn't it? Give me some sweet vindication for those tactics. Lee Hodson's injured. Good. Good. Now we're without both first choice fullbacks. And we've got a back two, which is good. Will this be a highlight exposing our back two's frailty? No, it's full time. Bit disappointing, and I'm going to tell them that. But we got a key injury extremely early on. I think it was in the first 10 minutes that Cal Dempsey picked up a knock. He wasn't his normal self in the first half and got taken off. Oh, we've lost Lee Hodson as well, which didn't really affect the match, but it will affect us probably going forward. But if we just step back and take a look at it, we are, we've lost 2-1 to Sunderland. In my opinion, IMHO, we were the better team. We had more chances, we had better possession, but the quality in Sunderland's team told. You know what is a bit scary actually? I personally think that Luke Higham was responsible for both goals. And because of that, I was thinking, right, next match I'll drop him for Kieran Freeman. I'll probably now have to use Kieran Freeman as cover for Lee Hodson, so Luke Higham will play again. But I'm sure there won't be that many teams that have this much quality in the Championship this year as Sunderland. They do seem like one of the better squads that I've seen so far. I know we've only played one match, but I've had a quick look through what the squads have got. And Cal Dempsey is out for fucking 5 to 6 weeks, so he goes on the pile. Lee Hodson's injured for 8 to 9 weeks. So, perfect. Could not be simpler. Could not be a simpler start to the Championship. But yeah, that's where I'm going to leave it for this episode, guys. Not the start we wanted, but I think we can be encouraged by the fact that we're missing a number of key players. And we we were unlucky to lose against one of the better teams in the championship. So if you are a particularly religious person, please feel free to pray for me and pray for Blackpool, and hope that we don't get fucking sucked into a relegation dogfight, because that's what I'm worried about. As always, if you have enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Please leave me a comment as well, that'd be great. You may have noticed recently that me and Freddie have been branching out, trying different games. We've played a bit of Rocket League, Freddie's played a bit of Thomas Was Alone. My cat's going mental in the background, but he's going to have to wait for like 2 more minutes. But yeah, please subscribe to the channel and have a look around. We're doing a lot of stuff at the minute and it's very exciting. And yeah, like I said last episode, the next episode will be next Friday, unless this video gets 10 likes. If this video gets 10 likes, then I will release it as soon as I possibly can. So it's goodbye from my fucking annoying cat, and it's goodbye from me, Kurt Frangle. Apart from that, I will see you next time. Bye.